Hey guys, just wanted to come back and talk to you about the modalities I use. I use four major modalities. There is a fifth that I sometimes use, sometimes don't. It all depends on what resonates with whoever I'm working with. So, that being said, first is hypnosis. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. I cannot put anything in your head that you would not accept consciously. It is essentially putting you in a deeply relaxed state to where we can bypass your critical mind and then implant suggestions that we have talked about consciously in the cognitive portion. And then I use different techniques to implant those into the subconscious so that those patterns, those behaviors, thought processes do change. And then next, I use the pendulum healing. I've been doing that since I was knee high. It's a generational thing for me. Um, if you've ever heard of the emotion code, it's kind of like that, but I've been taught to do it differently. I have read the emotion code. I do know the techniques. I'm just not certified in that. So, um, as far as it goes, it's more of a cognitive thing where you can see, like, you don't get to take a deeply relaxing, break from life. You have to sit there and watch, it's for people who don't feel comfortable with hypnosis or just are curious about it, really. Um, you simply ask yes or no questions to your body. Do your thing. And then you can use a lot of different techniques to clear for things. Um, both hypnosis and the pendulum healing, they both work on a subconscious level and an energetic level. Um, sometimes people think of them as just subconscious, but anytime you change anything in the subconscious, you're changing yourself on an energetic level as well. So that's something to take note of. And then the main energetic modalities that I use are Reiki and crystal healing. So, Reiki, we use different positions on the body. I usually do an aura scan, make sure that, you know, I can pinpoint where different energy is coming from. And then we use different hand positions, usually chakra based hand positions, to then go and send the Reiki to the recipient. Um, Reiki's a little bit more open in that the energy, it goes where it's needed. It doesn't necessarily, get pinpointed. You can pinpoint it, but it will go where it's needed as well. So there's that. As far as the crystal healing, that is another chakra based healing modality. And essentially, what we do is we would use crystals on the chakras, and that can either draw in or pull out energy. It can change the energy in chakras. And then you would use a pendulum. Well, I would use a pendulum to go through and make sure that the energy is correctly calibrated. So I might need to change crystals in between, session. Um, and then also you can go in and make sure that the energy that you want pulled out is, and the energy that you want pulled in is also getting pulled in. So there's more complicated than just using crystals. A lot of these are intuitive modalities. As far as that last modality that I don't really use all that much, but I do have training in, it's EFT, the emotional freedom technique. It's also called tapping. And so essentially what that is it uses different points on the body, and you go through and you tap on them while you say things. Um, I don't really use that because I do need a massage license in my state to touch clients. So I I'll probably eventually get one, but right now I don't see that as an option. Um, so as far as how I do things, I do them over Zoom. All of these are distance by proxy capable. And so I prefer to be with the client, like in the same vicinity energetically while I do them. It is an option to do them distance, but I just prefer to be present with the client when I'm doing them just so I can feel the different energy that I can feel while speaking to them. Um, there's a lot more to them than just this. Um, as far as which one I prefer hypnosis because it's just quick, easy, you wake up really relaxed after as well. So, shameless plug, my book, Shadow to Light Work. It's an intentional journey of healing, self-discovery, and purpose. If you like, you can find it on Amazon. I've enjoyed writing it, and I'm working on another book. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay, thanks for showing up. If you resonate with it, comment, subscribe, click that bell notification, and I'll be back with more. I have a lot more planned, but I think next week I'm going to go ahead and do kind of like a disclaimer video. And then I'm probably going to get into like that shadow work kind of stuff. And then we'll go through the self-discovery and then the purpose. I think that the information is more important than the presentation at this point. So I'm sorry if this isn't really professional lighting or, I'm just more concerned about the information getting out there. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.